boys and girls, and welcome to Tennessee's at-home learning series for literacy. Today's lesson is for all our first graders out there, though all children are welcome to tune in and enjoy today's story. This lesson is the fifth in this week's series. My name is Miss Clark, and I'm a first grade teacher in Tennessee schools. And I'm so excited, boys and girls, to share today's lesson with you and to be your teacher today. Welcome to our virtual classroom. Now, if you didn't see our previous lessons, you can find them on www.tn.gov/education. And you can still tune in today, though you may want to go watch the others that you missed. And we will be talking about some of the previous information we already learned. Now today, boys and girls, we are going to be learning about the powerful forces of nature. I know, I'm super excited. Now, before we get started, to be able to participate fully, you're going to need a few things. You'll need 3 pieces of blank paper today, a pencil, and a surface to write on. And we also have a student packet for all our boys and girls today for ELA, and it'll be grade 1, lesson 10, and you guys can find it on our website, www.tn.gov/education. Now, boys and girls, before we begin with our new lesson today, let's go back and think of what we did in our previous lesson and what we learned. Yeah, we read The Wind and the Sun, didn't we, boys and girls? And this was a fable, wasn't it? Yes, and we learned that there were characters from nature in our story, right, boys and girls? And they taught us a what? That's right, a lesson. We know that fables always teach a lesson, don't we? We've learned that during our time together. Now, we got to think about our favorite part of the story in our last lesson, and you guys were expected to challenge your brain and to write your favorite part of the story. And I'm sure you guys did a wonderful job with that. And I'm sure you guys made sure to include some important details, like you can see in my example. Boys and girls, I cannot wait to share today's story with you. And today, our goal is to understand different powerful forces of nature and how these things can harm people and other things. You're going to begin today with showing me what that looks like. And then there's going to be time for you guys to practice with my support. And then finally, at the end, boys and girls, you're going to get to challenge your brain again. And I'm going to assign you some independent work that you can complete after the video ends. Now, boys and girls, if you look on your screen, you'll see our title page of our book today. And today, the book we're going to be reading is called The Power of Nature. Now, boys and girls, by looking at the picture, do you think this book is going to be a nonfiction book? Or do you think it might be another fiction? I can also see a real photograph, can't you, of something I think I've seen before, lightning. Yeah, so I bet, boys and girls, today we're going to have a nonfiction text and learn some real information. Now, before we begin, we're going to go ahead and grab our paper and get it prepared for our lesson today. So we're going to use each of our pieces of paper for something different. For now, though, let's go ahead and get one of them ready to use. So you're going to take your first piece of paper, boys and girls, and you are going to fold it hot dog style. Remember, we've been doing that in our past few lessons. That means long ways, folding that along the midline. Very nice. But today, we're not just going to make two columns. We're actually going to make a four square. Now, to do that, we're going to have four boxes. And after you make your hot dog fold, we're actually going to take it and fold it again, boys and girls. And this time looks like a hamburger bun, huh? That's what we like to say in my class. It's going to be hot dog style or hamburger bun style, of course. So today, you get to fold two. And once you have your two folds, we can open it up and we can see our four sections. Very nice, boys and girls. Now, in each of these sections today, we're going to capture some interesting things that we're going to be learning about. Now, go ahead and put your paper to the side so you guys will be ready to grab it when it's time for it. So let's go ahead and dig into this text, boys and girls. I'm so excited. The powerful forces of nature. Our book today is by Margie Burton, Kathy French, and Tammy Jones. Nature is all the things that are normally not made by people. Things like weather, landforms, mountains, oceans, rivers, the sun, the stars, trees, grass, flowers, animals. Those are all examples of nature. Now, we are going to learn a lot, boys and girls, of new words as we read today. And I want you to keep a word list as we go. And you're going to be able to use this during our independent practice at the end of the lesson, okay? Now, I'm going to make a list with you as we go. So go ahead and get one of your blank pieces of paper. And we're going to write the first word that we learned. And you guys can see it in your text, right? Nature. Nature are things not made by people. So let's go ahead and write that on our word list. Nature. So I'm just doing a quick jot of my words I want to remember and maybe use later in my writing. Great work. Our title has another word, boys and girls, we're going to add to our list. Can you guess which one it is? That's right, power. So let's write that word. Power. So now we've heard two important words that we're going to keep in our brain. Now, in our previous lesson, we have learned about some strong characters, right? We talked about how Hercules was super strong and he could do very amazing things that ordinary people couldn't, right? And you showed me those strong muscles. Yeah, kind of like the word power, right? He had a lot of power. Can we stop the power of nature? There are some things that happen that we cannot stop. We cannot stop the power of nature. Some storms are very powerful. Boys and girls, do you know what a storm is? We live in Tennessee, right? And we have a lot of storms here, right? Especially in the springtime. So I bet you can make a connection with that. Look at this picture. Point to the powerful part of nature that you're seeing. That's right. I see lightning, maybe even dark clouds. This is what we might see during a storm, right, boys and girls? Now let's add that word to our word list. Storm. You write it with me, boys and girls. Storm. So we've added the word storm. Now a storm is when there's a lot of rain or snow, right? And there also can be lots of wind blowing, maybe even some thunder or lightning. Storms can have a lot of rain or snow, and they might have a lot of wind blowing, right, boys and girls? Yeah, and we've definitely made that connection. Now, the text tells us that storms are very powerful, and they're a part of nature, boys and girls, right? Our word. We cannot stop the power of nature. What is a flood? A flood comes when there's too much water on the land. Sometimes it can come after a big storm, when too much rain falls on the land. And sometimes it can come after a big storm out at sea, when too much seawater comes onto the land. Wow, boys and girls. So point to something that you see in the picture that's telling you a flood is happening. Yeah, I'm noticing that the water is rushing onto the land. Look, it's rushing under the car where the road should be, right? That's definitely not where water is supposed to be, is it, boys and girls? Luckily, it doesn't look like anyone is in this car when this flood happened, so they were able to get out safely. Now let's add that word to our word list. We just heard about the word flood. Very good, boys and girls. And we also heard about this important word, land. Go ahead and write that word, boys and girls, land. So a flood happens when the water reaches the land where it should not be, right? Boys and girls, do you remember what the text said about where the water comes from? Yeah. Sometimes it can come after a big storm, right? Or sometimes it can even come from somewhere else. Do you remember it? Whisper into your hand. 1, 2, 3. The sea. That's right. Wonderful job, boys and girls. Fast floodwater can hurt us and can hurt our homes. Let's add floodwater to our chart. Flood water. So we have flood water. Now, how could we stop a flood from coming, boys and girls? Do you have any ideas? Let's read to see if the text agrees with you. So look at this. So here is a picture of the flood water. How could we ever stop that? Let's see if you guys are right. We cannot stop a flood from coming, but we can try to stop the water from coming into our homes. We can try to stop the water by making a wall of sandbags, and we can use the sandbags to hold back the water. So do you agree with that, boys and girls? Miss Clark's class likes to give me a signal when they have the same idea, something they're hearing in the story. That's a good idea, huh? So boys and girls, maybe this would help the floodwaters from coming into our homes, but could this stop the flood from coming? You're right. No, we cannot. Storms are a part of nature, right? And floods are a part of nature. We cannot stop the power of nature. Wow, this is a lot of cool information that we learned so far. Boys and girls, the power of nature is strong, and we cannot stop nature. But sometimes we can do things to protect ourselves. Now, boys and girls, we have learned a lot of information so far, and I want you to go ahead and get the paper we folded before we got started. Now, do you see the 4 boxes on the paper? See? I want you to write the word flood in the first box. Flood. We heard the word flood. You can also use your word list to help you write that word down. Now, I want you to draw your own picture that might represent a flood that we heard so far in the story. Go ahead and take some think time. I bet you have some great ideas. I'm going to draw a cloud with a lot of rain and some sweeping floodwaters. But you guys probably have your own ideas. They're wonderful. Now, Let's keep reading on to find more information. What is an earthquake? An earthquake is when the land moves. The land goes up and down and all around, and the land can crack. Let's look at this, boys and girls, and let's add this new word to our word list. Earthquake. We heard the word earthquake. That might be important information. Earthquake. Now, what happens in an earthquake, boys and girls? That's right, the land is moving and shaking. So can everybody show me a motion that might represent an earthquake? Yeah, maybe you want to show me a crack or a moving motion. Very nice. You guys are creative. And sometimes we have earthquakes here, boys and girls, right? In Tennessee. Yeah, that's right. Maybe you've even experienced one. Now let's add that word that's very important to earthquakes that we heard. What happens to the land when an earthquake occurs? Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. It cracks. Good. And you can do that motion with me. 1, 2, 3. Crack. So it can make a crack, boys and girls, right? Very nice. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. I want you to check out this picture. You notice? An earthquake can hurt us. We can get hurt by things that fall down in an earthquake. What else can happen when the land is moving up and down and all around? That's right, things can fall down. And this can be very dangerous for people. We can get hurt by things that fall down in an earthquake. Now, look at this picture. What did this earthquake crack? What happened? That's right. This is a bridge that cracked and broke during an earthquake, and parts of the bridge fell down. Falling down things can start fires, and fires are another danger of earthquakes. Things can catch fire and burn. Ooh, so that's a really important word to remember about earthquakes. Let's write on our word list. Fire. Fires. We're going to add that word. Very nice. Can we stop an earthquake from coming, boys and girls? What do you think? Share out with me. 1, 2, 3. You don't think so? Let's find out. We cannot stop an earthquake from coming, but we can try to make our homes safer, and we can help them so they will not fall down in an earthquake. So we cannot stop an earthquake because an earthquake is a part of nature, and nature is strong and powerful. We cannot stop the power of nature. That's right, boys and girls, wonderful job. Now, let's get our paper with our 4 boxes. Next to the box with the flood picture, I want you to write earthquake. Now I want you guys to brainstorm of what we could put in our earthquake box. What could we draw to represent an earthquake? Do you guys have some great ideas? Amazing. I'm thinking of my word list. I'm using it to help me remember about an earthquake, and I have the word crack. Do you guys also? Yeah, so I'm going to put a big crack in the middle of the land, and on one side is my tree, and on the other side is a house. So I can remember that earthquakes are cracks that happen in our earth, right? Wonderful job. Now, we have one more force of nature that we're going to learn about today, so let's dig in. What is a hurricane? A hurricane is a big storm with fast winds and rain, and it begins out at sea and can come onto the land. Its fast winds can hurt us and our homes. What do you notice about the picture, boys and girls, of the hurricane? Do you have any connections about what's in the picture? Yeah, I'm noticing palm trees. And I'm thinking I only see palm trees when I go to the beach. At the ocean. That's right. So a hurricane. The difference between a hurricane and a storm are they happen out at sea, right? And they can move to land. So let's add our word hurricane to our word chart so we can use it in our writing. Hurricane. We have lots of wonderful words, boys and girls, that we've figured out today. Now, what is it that you notice here, boys and girls? This is a hurricane out in space. It's a photograph from outer space. Look how big it is. Hurricanes are much bigger than other storms. Would you be able to stop a hurricane? What do you think, boys and girls? Go ahead and show me your answer. Thumbs up or thumbs down? No, we would not be able to stop a hurricane. Absolutely not. A hurricane is a very powerful force of nature. Now, boys and girls, I want you to go ahead and add your word hurricane to your last box of your chart. Hurricane. And you can go ahead and add your picture. Very nice, boys and girls. You might want to illustrate a palm tree, right? Because we know they happen out at sea and they move on to the land, or they happen at the ocean. And there's lots of wind. And I'm going to add rain. Or lots of rain. It's definitely not a time we would want to be at the beach, right, boys and girls, during a hurricane. Very nice. We cannot stop a tornado or a hurricane from coming, but we can get out of the way. And we cannot stop the powerful force of nature, but we can go places where we feel safe, right, boys and girls? Now, boys and girls, you did a wonderful job, and we were reading to understand the powerful forces of nature and how they can harm people and other things, right? But why is it important for scientists to study the causes of such natural forces like hurricanes, earthquakes, floods? What do you guys think? Why is it important for scientists to study those? Go ahead and turn and share out with the person watching with you today. Absolutely, that is some great thinking. Now, learning about the causes of these natural disasters can help protect people, right? They can predict the storm and help people get to their safe place and to prepare their houses for what's about to happen, right? Now, boys and girls, I want you to pick one of the natural forces we discussed today, and you're going to do some writing about this natural force. You can pick one. You can pick the flood, the hurricane, or the earthquake. It's your choice. So go ahead and circle your choice on your chart. That way you'll know what you'll be writing about today. Now make sure you go through your word list and go ahead and identify the words that you're going to need to write about your topic. If you chose the word earthquake and you're going to write about an earthquake, that's right. You might want to use the word crack in your writing, right? Or land, right? And give some good details about what happens during an earthquake that we learned today. Now, boys and girls, I want you to make sure you go through there, and I really challenge you to use as many important detail words as possible that we heard in today's story. Now, you're going to pretend, boys and girls, that you want to join the team of scientists that are studying the forces of nature to keep everyone safe. And I want you today to write them a letter telling them which natural force you want to study, and also tell them what you already know about it and why you want to study it more. Now, you can start a letter just like mine. Now we have our greeting. Dear Nature Team, I would like to join you on your team. And then you can explain to them what you would like to study and what you would like to know that you didn't hear from today's story. Then tell them all the cool information you learned today, boys and girls, because it was a lot of cool facts. Don't forget to use your word list, right, to impress them with your vocabulary. And don't forget to add a closure to your letter with your name and maybe even a nice closure like yours truly or sincerely. I know you guys are going to do a great job. And don't forget to share your writing. And I enjoyed working with you so much, boys and girls, today. You guys were fabulous. And we learned so many cool facts about nature today. Thank you for inviting me into your home, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson in Tennessee's at-home learning series.
Hello, I'm Maria Lee, First Lady of Tennessee, and I'm so glad you're here. This has been an unprecedented time for our state and our country. I'm so proud to see how Tennesseans are coming together to serve and lift each other up in the midst of challenges. Each of us has a role to play, including you, our students. Right now, your school buildings may be closed, but there are many opportunities to keep learning. And we are so grateful for the partnership of PBS in bringing this program directly to you as one more way to keep us learning and growing together during this time. I want to also give a special thank you to all of the teachers who helped make this possible. We could not do it without them. Most of all, thank you for joining us.